everyone, and welcome back to the Workbench. Today I'm going to be doing a first impressions video of a firearm that I just purchased. Before we get started, as you can see, the bolt is out of this firearm, making it inoperable. There is no ammunition in the magazine, nothing in the chamber, and nothing on the workbench. Before I tell you a little bit about this rifle, I guess I should explain what I was looking for when I made my purchase. I wanted something chambered in .308 because I had previously had a .30-06 rifle and it kicked just a little too much for my liking. It made it uncomfortable to shoot. Therefore, I didn't shoot it a lot. My intended purpose for this rifle is what most consider mid-range shooting. I say mid-range because I only plan on going out to about 300 yards, maybe occasionally getting out to 500 yards. I may also use this rifle for hunting purposes. So now let's get started on the rifle itself, and I'll talk about why I chose this particular rifle over the myriad of options in the .308 caliber. This is the Ruger American rifle, chambered in .308, and this happens to be the Predator model. Basically what that means is it's got this green stock on it, an 18-inch threaded bull barrel. I specifically wanted the threaded barrel, which led me to the Predator model, because eventually I want to be able to suppress this firearm. The threaded barrel that comes with this firearm prevents me from having to find a gunsmith to do it later on. Threaded from the factory, in my opinion, is going to be more precise than something done aftermarket. Additionally, if anything ever goes wrong, this rifle is still under warranty. There were models with longer barrels, such as 22 and 24 inches. However, to get the threaded barrel model, I had to go with an 18-inch barrel. I was okay with that because eventually when I put the suppressor on, the overall length will only increase. Additionally, if I choose to hunt with this rifle, the shorter length will make it easier to lug around the woods. So let's get into some specifics on this rifle. As you can see with this rifle, there is already a Picatinny rail, so it's optics ready. I have previously owned a Savage Axis rifle, which costs about the same as this Ruger American. I will say, however, that this Ruger American seems to be built to a much better quality than the Savage Axis series, or at least the one that I owned. And there are a couple key points to this. When working the bolt, it is a very smooth, simple process. The Savage Axis seemed to have a hang-up when trying to push the bolt forward. There was a little too much play at full extension. Additionally, on the Savage Axis, when I fired, the magazine would unseat itself. This magazine, I don't foresee that happening with. The reason I don't believe this will happen is the way it's designed, so let me show you. This magazine is spring-loaded, so that when it is fully seated, this lip here catches the inside of the rifle stock and is held firmly in place. Unlike the Savage Axis, which is a simple plastic clip that loops around and relies on the spring functionality of the plastic itself, this has a dedicated spring. Along with purchase of this firearm, I also purchased a few accessories that I knew I would want to put on this. Let's take a look at those as well. I purchased this piece here, which goes over the back of the buttstock and has a very soft fake leather cheek piece. It also has a zipper pouch in which I intend to keep a small notepad and pen. I do not have intentions of using the shell holders that this came with. Up front, I purchased a folding collapsible bipod that attaches to the sling swivel mount. It was very inexpensive, but I knew that I'd be doing a lot of bench rest shooting, and instead of using a bag, I decided to use a bipod. And lastly, as you can see, I purchased a Vortex Crossfire 2 rifle scope with a dead hold BDC reticle. This is the 4-12x40 model. To mount this to the firearm, I have 3 different height scope rings. I'm unsure which I'll need, so I purchased the low, the medium, and the high. So that was my first impressions video of my brand new Ruger American rifle chambered in .308 Winchester. I plan to do accuracy testing similar to that of the 9mm testing that I did. If you have any ideas of what would be an interesting video that you'd like to see, please feel free to leave that in the comments section below. As always, thank you very much for watching. I'll talk to you again very soon.